So in this video, what you're going to see is you're going to see us actually digging the holes and planting the trees in the ground here. You're going to notice that I'm wearing a different shirt, and in part of the video I have a partner here working with me who's helping me out. So it's really not a two-part video, but in a way it is, because we filmed the first part, and then now a couple of months later we've come back to film the second part of the video. So stay tuned, here we go. Today's a beautiful day. It's kind of windy, and we're going to be planting some lychee trees in pure sugar sand. This is very sandy out here, so we're going to show you how we do that in this video, so stay tuned. There's a couple of important things that you need to realize about lychee trees, and today is a good example. It is extremely windy, and unfortunately I had no choice. This is the day that I had scheduled this. It's windy, and I have to deal with the wind hitting the leaves. Now these leaves are pretty hardened off already, but there's a little bit of new growth that's flushing out still. So I still have some new growth, and that new growth on here is going to suffer a little bit from the cold and the wind, because it'll dry it out, and that'll set back the growth of the plant. So one thing that a lot of people will do, and we won't do it on this video, but we will do this, is take some poles and put them in the ground around the tree, and then we're going to put some kind of material to screen the wind. So we're going to screen the wind around the tree, because that's been proven to help your lychee tree to grow much faster when your young leaves are able to actually flush out and develop, as opposed to constantly having to struggle because they shrivel and they die and they got to come back. And so what we've done is we've dug the hole about twice the depth and about 1.5 times to 2 times the width of the container. Okay, the bigger the better. But in this particular case, we're not dealing with a bunch of rocks and things like that, where you have to really be concerned about plenty of room for the roots, because it's very sandy and these roots are going to work their way through that sand looking for the water. So I'm not really too worried about that. So he's just basically going to go make sure when he puts it in the hole now is that we have it presented properly and that it's a little bit above grade. We're also going to take the roots and we're going to check the roots, make sure they're not terrible, they're not circling, and then we're going to go ahead and just rough them up a little bit to kind of aerate them and make sure that that they're able to start spreading out and not continue to grow in a circle. So you can see here that we have pure sand. I mean, this thing is 100% sand, and we're going to dig it out, and we're going to then add some organic material, some compost that I have here. Normally you don't add anything if your soil is pretty good, but this is so sandy that it's gonna just dry out very quickly. So this tree, we're in the dry season in Florida. It's cool out, so we have to make sure we water this tree properly. It is planted in full sun, and we're going to go ahead in a couple minutes here. We're going to present the tree down in the hole. Now in here you can see I'm having them rough up the roots a little bit, all right, and spread them out, because we don't want them to continue circling. Okay, so we're going to rough up the roots just a little bit. We're not going to go too crazy, just a little bit. There we go. And un poquitico más arriba, un poquito, just a little bit on the top. All right, we want to make sure those roots are not circling, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to present that down into the planting hole. So if you see that, you can see that it drains very rapidly, and that can be good, but that can be bad. So we have to bring it up. So we're going to add some more sand and then topsoil to bring. We're actually going to add we're going to add some compost right now. Yeah. Okay. Ahí está, yo creo que ahí está bien. Ahí está más alta, right? Yeah, that's good. Okay. It's important that you get the air pockets out. So what we like to do is we like to get that hose down in there and we go all the way around so we can get the air pockets out and make sure that the tree is properly planted. All right, so we're watering the tree in. We created a little bit of a moat around it, made a nice ring with the sand. So what happens here tomorrow is we're gonna come back and we're gonna remove some of this sod out to about 3 feet out away from the drip line. We're gonna then come back and we're gonna mulch this all out eventually so that we end up having a nice big circle of mulch all around the tree, 1.5 times away from the drip line of the tree. It's very important that we maintain plenty of moisture in the soil and keep this tree healthy by getting regular watering. All right, that's it. We've got our 2 lychee trees planted. We've used our red mulch because the customer wanted red mulch, and the customer gets what he wants, even though I tried to convince them not to use the red mulch and use something like eucalyptus mulch or maybe cypress mulch, but they wanted the red mulch. They got the red mulch. Our lychee tree, as I've said a million times, likes a lot of water, planted in very, very sandy soil. Remember, amend the soil with some organic material. Create a nice berm or a little mound around it, a nice ring. Make sure you begin to extend that out further and further so that you end up having a wide mound all around the tree of plenty of mulch, because you want to protect the roots in the summer from the intense heat, and you also during the dry season want to maintain as much moisture in the soil as possible. The other thing that's important that we touched on is the wind. We want to protect the tree from wind. It's a very windy day today, believe it or not, and I'm going